Good morning, dear teacher, dear venerable, dear community. Thank you for your presence for this morning's transmission ceremony. I'd like to go through the program for the ceremony. We will begin with a short silent sitting meditation, followed by incense offering, touching the earth, sutra opening verse, heart sutra, the formal request, the Sangha common procedure, and we will go into the main part of the ceremony, which begins with the four touching of the earth in gratitude, and then the reading and transmission of each of the 14 mindfulness trainings. And we will end with the distribution of the certificates, and then we will close the ceremony with a closing verse. Con kính bạch sư ông, con kính bạch hòa thượng, con kính thưa đại chúng. Con xin thông qua chương trình của buổi lễ truyền giới sáng hôm nay, chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu bằng một buổi thiền tọa ngắn. Sau đó đến phần dâng hương, lạy Bụt và Bồ Tát, khai kinh, tụng tâm kinh. Rồi mình sẽ đi vào phần chính của buổi lễ là lễ dẫn thỉnh. Sau đó là tác pháp yết ma. Và các giới tử sẽ lễ tứ ân. Và sau đó là mỗi giới của 14 giới được truyền. Sau buổi truyền giới thì đến phần đọc tên và trao điệp hậu giới, và chúng ta sẽ kết thúc bằng bài kinh hồi hướng. Con kính xin đại chúng mình trở về với hơi thở, mình thiết lập thân tâm trong giờ phút hiện tại để mình gửi năng lượng lành cho các giới tử nhận giới hôm nay trong thiền đường này cũng như ở trên mạng. Và con chúc đại chúng có một buổi lễ rất là bình an. So dear Sangha, let us establish ourselves in the present moment by bringing our mind back, enjoying our breath, and offering our presence, loving presence, to the ordainies this morning who will be receiving the trainings, both in the hall and online. We wish you a peaceful and beautiful ceremony. Thank you.
In gratitude we offer this incense throughout space and time to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May it be fragrant as the earth herself, reflecting careful efforts, haunted awareness, and the fruit of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize how to the one who bows and the one who is bowed to are both by nature empty. Therefore, the communication between them is inexpressibly perfect. Our practice center is the net of Indra, reflecting all Buddhas everywhere. And with my person in front of each Buddha, I go with my whole life for refuge. Offering light in the 10 directions, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, to whom we bow in gratitude. Teaching and living the way of awareness in the very midst of suffering and confusion. Shakyamuni Buddha, the fully enlightened one, to whom we bow in gratitude. showing the way fearlessly and compassionately. The stream of our ancestral teachers, to whom we bow in gratitude. Namo tassa
Request, please stand up. The orderlies and the representative.
Namo Shakya Munaye Buddhaya. Dear respected teacher, dear noble Sangha, please listen to us with compassion. We would like to make a formal request. Namo Shakyamunaye Buddhaya. Dear respected teacher, dear noble Sangha, we recognize that we're very fortunate. We have received a lot of merit from our blood ancestors and spiritual ancestors, and thanks to this, we have had the chance to receive and practice the 5 mindfulness trainings. The path of practice of the trainings has helped our love and understanding to grow, bringing transformation, healing, and joy to ourselves and those around us. We have understood how valuable it is on this path to have a Sangha. Without the Sangha, how could we have been able to continue this beautiful practice in our daily life? If we flow with our Sangha as a river, we know we can reach the ocean of liberation. We would like to embrace the Sangha's career as our own. In the past year, we have come together once a month to study the 14 mindfulness trainings. We have participated regularly in mindfulness days and retreats organized by our local Sangha or Plum Village. Today, with all our heart, we aspire to receive the 14 precious trainings of the Order of Interbeing. We understand clearly that following this path, we are in the company of bodhisattvas, and that every moment can be a moment of happiness. With our local Sangha support, we humbly ask our dear spiritual ancestors and noble Sangha to accept our request and to transmit to us the 14 trainings of the Order of Interbeing.
The Sangha is happy to accept your request. You are very fortunate to have discovered such a wonderful path and to have the opportunity to commit yourselves to it. Your most beautiful task is to build a Sangha that can be a place of refuge for many people. This is what the Buddha did his whole life. Following this path, you continue the Buddha's career. The Buddha and all the bodhisattvas will support you.
We thank you, dear respected teacher, and dear noble Sangha, for accepting our request. We will follow your precious advice with all our heart.
Please, orderlies, be seated. Dear Sangha, from this point on until the finish of the reciting of the 14 mindfulness training and before the certificate is given, please refrain from moving about. Only Brother Dao Gui is allowed to take photos, and the rest of us please enjoy our sitting and giving support to the orderlies. Xin đại chúng hoan hỷ là từ giây phút này cho đến sau khi mình truyền 14 giới và trước khi thời gian mình đọc điểm hậu giới thì xin đại chúng ngồi yên tại chỗ, không đi tới đi lui. Chỉ có thầy Đạo Quy là được phép chụp hình cho khóa tu thôi. Xin đại chúng hoan hỷ yểm trợ để chúng ta giữ năng lượng bình an cho các giới tử. Xin cảm ơn đại chúng.
Please turn off your cell phone or put on vibration mode. Xin tắt điện thoại di động, không có nghe tiếng. Sangha Karman procedure. Has the entire community assembled?
The entire community has assembled.
Is there harmony in the community?
Yes, there is harmony.
What is the reason for the community assembling today?
The community has assembled to perform the Sangha Karman of transmitting the 14 mindfulness trainings of the Order of Interbeing.
Noble community of Interbeing, please listen. Today is May the 1st, 2022, as the day to transmit the 14 mindfulness training of the Order of Interbeing. The community has assembled at the appointed time and is ready to transmit and receive the 14 mindfulness training in an atmosphere of harmony. Thus, the transmission can proceed. Such is the proposal. Is the proposal clear and complete?
Clear, complete. Dear orderlies, this is the time to practice the 4 gratitudes. Please stand up behind your cushions. On hearing the full sound of the bell after the recitation of each line in English and in Vietnamese, please touch the earth one time. In gratitude to our Father and Mother who have brought us life, we touch the earth deeply before the 3 jewels in the 10 directions.
Giới tử mang ơn cha mẹ sinh thành, cúi đầu kính lễ tam bảo thường trú trong 10 phương.
In gratitude to our mother and father, giới tử mang ơn cha mẹ sinh thành. gratitude to our teachers who have shown us how to understand and love. We touch the earth deeply before the three jewels in the 10 directions.
Giới tử mang ơn sư trưởng giáo huấn, cúi đầu kính lễ tam bảo thường trụ trong 10 phương.
In gratitude to Thầy and all our teachers. Giới tử mang ơn Thầy, mang ơn sư trưởng giáo huấn. In gratitude to our friends who give us guidance and support on the path, we touch the earth deeply before the three jewels in the 10 directions.
Giới tử mang ơn bằng hữu và các bậc thiện tri thức đã tác thành cho. Cúi đầu kính lễ tam bảo thường trụ trong 10 phương.
In gratitude to all of our friends who have been supporting us, giới tử mang ơn bằng hữu và các bậc thiện tri thức. In gratitude to all beings in the animal, plant, and mineral worlds, we touch the earth deeply before the three jewels in the 10 directions.
Giới tử mang ơn mọi loài chúng sinh, cây cỏ và đất đá. Cúi đầu kính lễ tam bảo thường trụ trong 10 phương.
In gratitude to all beings, giới tử mang ơn mọi loài chúng sinh. Dear orderlies, please be seated. So let us take a deep breath in, out. One more time, in, out. One more time, in, out. Let us establish ourselves in the here and the now, and being aware that the Sangha is surrounding us, offering us support. There's nothing to fear. Please join your palms. Today, the community has gathered to give spiritual support to our friends who will undertake to receive and observe the 14 mindfulness trainings of the Order of Interbeing and enter the core community of the Order of Interbeing. Dear orderlies, please listen. Following in the steps of the Bodhisattvas as your teachers and companions on the path, you have made the aspiration to receive and observe the mindfulness trainings of the order of Interbeing. You have given rise to the seed of bodhicitta, the mind of love. You have made the aspiration to develop this seed. Your own awakening and liberation, as well as the liberation and awakening of all other species, have now become your highest career. Dear community, let us establish our mindfulness by enjoying our breathing, so that we may be truly present and give support to the seed of bodhicitta, the mind of love in the orderlies. With our support, they will develop this seed solidly and courageously, so that it will become indestructible. This is a solemn moment for receiving the 14 mindfulness trainings of the order of Interbeing. Listen carefully with a clear and concentrated mind to each mindfulness training as it is read, and answer, yes, I do, clearly every time you see that you have the intention and capacity to receive, study, and practice the mindfulness training that has been read. Dear orderlies, are you ready? These then are the 14 mindfulness training of the order of Interbeing. The first mindfulness training, openness.
Aware of the suffering created by fanaticism and intolerance, we are determined not to be idolatrous about or bound to any doctrine, theory, or ideology, even Buddhist one. We are committed to seeing the Buddha's teaching as guiding means that help us develop our understanding and compassion. They are not doctrine to fight, kill, or die for. We understand that fanaticism in its many forms is the result of perceiving things in a dualistic and discriminative manner. We will train ourselves to look at everything with openness and the insight of interbeing in order to transform dogmatism and violence in ourselves and in the world.
This is the first mindfulness training of the order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it? Please bow. The second mindfulness training, non-attachment to views.
Aware of the suffering created by attachment to views and wrong perceptions, we are determined to avoid being narrow-minded and bow to present views. We are committed to learning and practicing non-attachment to views and being open to other experiences and insights in order to benefit from the collective wisdom. Insight is revealed through the practice of compassionate listening, deep looking, and letting go of notions, rather than through the accumulation of intellectual knowledge. We are aware that the knowledge we presently possess, is not changeless, absolute truth. Truth is found in life, and we will observe life within and around us in every moment, ready to learn throughout our lives.
This is the second mindfulness training of the order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it?
Yes, I do.
Please touch the earth. The third mindfulness training, freedom of thought.
Aware of the suffering brought about when we impose our view on others. We are determined not to force others, even our children, by any means whatsoever, such as authority, threat, money, propaganda, or indoctrination, to adopt our views. We are committed to respecting the right of others to be different, to choose what to believe and how to decide. We will, however, learn to help others let go of and transform narrowness through loving speech and compassionate dialogue.
This is the third mindfulness training of the order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it? The fourth mindfulness training, taking care of suffering.
Aware that looking deeply at the nature of suffering can help us develop understanding and compassion. We are determined to come home to ourselves, to recognize, accept, embrace, and listen to our own suffering with the energy of mindfulness. We'll do our best not to run away from our suffering or cover it up through consumption, but practice conscious breathing and walking to look deeply into the roots of our suffering. We know we can realize the path leading to the transformation of suffering only when we understand deeply the roots of suffering. Once we have understood our own suffering, we will be able to understand the suffering of others. We are committed to finding ways, including personal contact or using telephone, electronic, audio, visual, and other means to be with those who suffer, so we can help them transform their suffering into compassion, peace, and joy.
This is the fourth mindfulness training of the order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it?
Yes, I do.
The fifth mindfulness training, compassionate, healthy living.
Aware that true happiness is rooted in peace, solidity, freedom, and compassion. We are determined not to accumulate wealth while millions are hungry and dying, not to take as the aim of our life fame, power, wealth, or sensual pleasure. We can bring much suffering and despair. We will practice looking deeply into how we nourish our body and mind with the four kinds of nutriments, namely edible foods, senses impression, volition, and consciousness. We are committed not to gamble or to use alcohol, drugs, and any other products. We bring toxin into our own and the collective body and consciousness, such as certain websites, electronic games, music, TV programs, films, magazines, books, and conversation. We are consumed in a way that preserves compassion, peace, joy, and good health in our bodies and consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of our family, our society, and the earth.
This is the fifth mindfulness training of the order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it?
Yes, I do.
The sixth mindfulness training, taking care of anger.
Aware that anger blocks communication and creates suffering, we are committed to taking care of the energy of anger when it arises, recognizing and transforming the seeds of anger that lie deep in our consciousness. When anger manifests, we are determined not to do or say anything, but to practice mindful breathing or mindful walking to acknowledge, embrace, and look deeply into our anger. We know that the roots of anger are not outside of ourselves, but can be found in our wrong perceptions and lack of understanding of the suffering in ourselves and others. By contemplating impermanence, we'll be able to look with the eyes of compassion at ourselves and at those we think are the cause of our anger, and to recognize the preciousness of our relationships. We will practice right diligence in order to nourish our capacity of understanding, love, joy, and inclusiveness, gradually transforming our anger, violence, and fear, and helping others do the same.
This is the sixth mindfulness training of the Order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it? The seventh mindfulness training, dwelling happily in the present moment.
Aware that life is available only in the present moment, we are committed to training ourselves to live deeply each moment of daily life. We will try not to lose ourselves in dispersion or be carried away by regret about the past, worries about the future, or craving, anger, or jealousy in the present. We will practice mindful breathing to be aware of what is happening in the here and the now. We are determined to learn the art of mindful living by touching the wondrous, refreshing, and healing elements that are inside and around us in all situations. In this way, we will be able to cultivate seeds of joy, peace, love, and understanding in ourselves, thus facilitating the work of transformation and healing in our consciousness. We are aware that true happiness depends primarily on our mental attitude and not on external conditions, and that we can live happily in the present moment simply by remembering that we already have more than enough conditions to be happy.
This is the seventh mindfulness training of the Order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it?
Yes, I do.
The eighth mindfulness training, true community and communication.
Aware that lack of communication always brings separation and suffering, we are committed to training ourselves in the practice of compassionate listening and loving speech. Knowing that true community is rooted in inclusiveness and in the concrete practice of the harmony of views, thinking, and speech, we will practice to share our understanding and experiences with members in our community in order to arrive at a collective insight. We are determined to learn to listen deeply without judging or reacting and refrain from uttering words that can create discord or cause the community to break. Whenever difficulties arise, we will remain in our Sangha and practice looking deeply into ourselves and others to recognize all the causes and conditions, including our own habit energies, that have brought about the difficulties. We will take responsibility for the ways we may have contributed to the conflict and keep communication open. We will not behave as a victim, but be active in finding ways to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small.
This is the 8th mindfulness training of the Order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it?
Yes, I do.
The 9th mindfulness training, Truthful and Loving Speech.
Aware that words can create happiness or suffering, we are committed to learning to speak truthfully, lovingly, and constructively. We will use only words that inspire joy, confidence, and hope, as well as promote reconciliation and peace in ourselves and among other people. We will speak and listen in a way that can help ourselves and others to transform suffering and to see the way out of difficult situations. We are determined not to say untruthful things for the sake of personal interest or to impress people, nor to utter words that might cause division or hatred. We will protect the happiness and harmony of our Sangha by refraining from speaking about the faults of other person in their absence and always ask ourselves whether our perceptions are correct. We'll speak only with the intention to understand and help transform the situation. We will not spread rumors, nor criticize or condemn things of which we are not sure. We will do our best to speak out about situations of injustice, even when doing so may make difficulty for us or threaten our safety.
This is the 9th mindfulness training of the Order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it?
Yes, I do.
The 10th mindfulness training, Protecting and Nourishing the Sangha.
Aware that the essence and aim of a Sangha is a realization of understanding and compassion. We are determined not to use the Buddhist community for personal power or profit, or transform our community into a political instrument. As members of the spiritual community, we should nonetheless take a clear stand against oppression and injustice. We should strive to change the situation without taking sides in a conflict. We are committed to learning to look with the eyes of interbeing and to see ourselves and others as cells in a one Sangha body. As a true self in the Sangha body, generating mindfulness, concentration, and insight to nourish ourselves and the whole community. Each of us is at the same time a cell in the Buddha body. We will actively build siblinghood, flows at the river, and practice to develop the three real powers, understanding, love, and cutting through afflictions, to realize collective awakening.
This is the 10th mindfulness training of the Order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it?
Yes, I do.
The 11th mindfulness training, right livelihood.
Aware that great violence and injustice have been done to our environment and society, we are committed not to live with a vocation that is harmful to humans and nature. We will do our best to select a livelihood that contributes to the well-being of all species on earth and help realize our ideal of understanding and compassion. Aware of economic, political, and social realities around the world, as well as our interrelationship with the ecosystem, we are determined to behave responsibly as consumer and as citizen. We will not invest in or purchase from companies that contribute to the depletion of natural resources, harm the earth, and deprive others of their chance to live.
This is the 11th mindfulness training of the Order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it?
Yes, I do.
The 12th mindfulness training, reverence for life.
Aware that much suffering is caused by war and conflict, we are determined to cultivate non-violence, compassion, and the insight of interbeing in our daily lives and promote peace education, mindful mediation, and reconciliation within families, communities, ethnic and religious groups, nations, and in the world. We are committed not to kill and not to let others kill. We will not support any act of killing in the world, in our thinking, or in our way of life. We will diligently practice deep looking with our Sangha to discover better ways to protect life, prevent war, and build peace.
This is the 12th mindfulness training of the Order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it?
Yes, I do.
The 13th mindfulness training, Generosity.
Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, we are committed to cultivate generosity in our way of thinking, speaking, and acting. We will practice loving kindness in working for the happiness of people, animals, plants, and minerals, and sharing our time, energy, and material resources with those who are in need. We are determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. We will respect the property of others, but we will try to prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other beings.
This is the 13th mindfulness training of the Order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it?
Yes, I do.
The 14th mindfulness training, True Love.
For lay members, aware that sexual desire is not love, and that sexual relations motivated by craving cannot dissipate the feeling of loneliness, but will create more suffering, frustration, and isolation. We are determined not to engage in sexual relations without mutual understanding, love, and a deep long-term commitment made known to our family and friends. Seeing that body and mind are one, we are committed to learning appropriate ways to take care of our sexual energy and to cultivating loving kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness for our own happiness and the happiness of others. We must be aware of future suffering that may be caused by sexual relations. We know that to preserve the happiness of ourselves and others, we must respect the rights and commitments of ourselves and others. We do everything in our power to protect children from sexual abuse and to protect couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. We will treat our bodies with compassion and respect. We are determined to look deeply into the four nutriments and learn ways to preserve and channel our vital energy. Sexual, breath, spirit, for the realization of our bodhisattva ideal. We'll be fully aware of the responsibility of bringing new lives into the world, and will meditate regularly upon their future environment.
This is the 14th mindfulness training of the Order of Interbeing. Do you make the commitment to receive, study, and practice it?
Yes, I do.
Dear friends, you have just received the 14 mindfulness trainings of the Order of Interbeing. You have taken the first step on the path of the Bodhisattvas, the path of great understanding of Bodhisattva Manjushri, that puts an end to countless wrong perceptions, prejudice, and discrimination, the path of great compassion of Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, who loves, values, and protects the life of all species, and listens deeply to the cries of all species far and near, in order to help them. the path of great action, a bodhisattva samantabhadra, who takes every opportunity to create love, understanding, and harmony in the world. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will be with you on your path of practice. When you hear the sound of the bell, please stand up and touch the earth 3 times to show your gratitude to the 3 jewels. Please be seated. Congratulations. We have a total of 27 newly ordained OI members. 16 are here and 11 on Zoom. Can you guys wave, those who are on Zoom? Wonderful. So dear Sangha, I will read the list of all 27 at one time so that we are aware and know that it's official that that is the order of who's first, who's second, and who's the baby. And then to make the job of the IT brothers easier, we will read the certificate for the newly ordained brothers and sisters online first, 11 of them, and then the ones who are here. So that is easy for the IT brother to spot the newly ordained brothers and sisters online. Okay, everyone ready? So this is the order. Melissa Devine, Patricia Lukacs, Catherine Rose, Leah Caitlin, Chantel Birch, Autumn Slaughter, Linda Vincent, Ginger Wallace, Joan Wolf, Brenda Balmer, Ying Studebaker, John Rott, Patty Kohani, Linda Kramer, Tony Lamantia, Kate Cummings, Christopher Whitetrack, Susan Conley, Francisca Audley, Mai Phong, Lý Nguyệt Thu, Yu Hữu Tài, Laura Hương Thái, Ann Dugan, Madeline Dupre, Jennifer Farkas, and Matthew Freiberg. So that is the order. And now we will read the certificates for the ones online first. Certificate of Ordination. Thiệt tế đại đạo tánh hải thanh trừng, tâm nguyên quảng nhuận. Đức bổn từ phong, giới định phước tuệ, thể dụng viên thông. Vĩnh siêu trí quá, mật thể thành công. Truyền trì diệu lý diễn xướng chánh tông, hành giải tương ưng, đạt ngộ chân không. Đường lớn thực tại biển thể tính trong, nguồn tâm thấm khắp, gốc đức vun trồng. Giới định cùng tuệ, thể dụng viên thông. Quá trí siêu việt, hiểu thấu nên công. Truyền giữ lý màu, tuyên dương chính tông. Hành giải song song, đạt ngộ chân không. The great way of reality is the pure ocean of the true nature. The source of mind has penetrated everywhere. From the roots of virtue springs the tradition of compassion, Vinaya, Samadhi, and Prajna. The nature and function of all three is one. The fruit of transcendent wisdom can be realized by being wonderfully together. Maintain and transmit the wonderful principle in order to make known the true teaching. For the realization of true emptiness to be possible, wisdom and action have to arise together. This is to certify that Patricia Lukács has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Interbeing, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte Dhyana school and the 10th generation of the Liu Quang Dharma line, with the lineage name Source of Awakened Dharma and Dharma name True Moon of Wholesomeness, Zheng Zhang Lan. The ordination was conducted on the first day of May in the year 2022 at Blue Cliff Monastery with the spiritual support of the International Plum Village Dharma Teacher Council, represented by Bhikshu Thích Trần Pháp Ấn, Bhikshuni Thích Nữ Chân Không, of the 43rd generation of the Lamte Linchi Dhyana school, and the 9th generation of the Liu Quan Dhamma line. Congratulations, Patricia Lukács. This is to certify that Leah Caitlin has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Interbeing, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte Linchi Dhyana school and the 10th generation of the Liu Quan Dhamma line, with the lineage name Sincere Vow of the Heart, Dharma name True Cloud of Wholesomeness, Zheng Mai Lan. Congratulations, Leah. This is to certify that Autumn Slaughter has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Interbeing, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte Dhyana school and the 10th generation of the Liu Quan Dhamma line, with the lineage name Awakening Freedom of the Heart, Dharma name True Vow of Wholesomeness, Zheng Nguyen Lan. Congratulations, Autumn. This is to certify that Brenda Balmer has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Interbeing, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte Linchi Dhyana school and the 10th generation of the Liu Quan Dhamma line, with lineage name Wonderful Song of the Heart, Dharma name True Sound of Wholesomeness, Zheng Lan. Congratulations, Brenda. This is to certify that John Roth has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte Dhyana school and the 10th generation of the Liu Kuan Dharma line, with lineage name Devoted Garden of the Heart, Dharma name True Wisdom of Wholesomeness, Zheng Ji Lan. Congratulations, John. This is to certify that Patty Kohani has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Liu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Precepts Fragrance of the Heart, Dharma name True Practice of Wholesomeness, Zheng Tu Lan. Congratulations, Patty. This is to certify that Linda Kramer has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Liu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Virtuous Thought of the Heart, Dharma name True Heart of Wholesomeness, Zheng Tam Lan. Congratulations, Linda. This is to certify that Kate Cummings has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Liu Kuan Dharma line, with lineage name Refreshing Awareness of the Heart, Dharma name True Sky of Wholesomeness, Zheng Zhe Lan. Congratulations, Kate. This is to certify that Christopher Wytrack has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Liu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Source of Pure Selflessness, Dharma name True Act of Wholesomeness, Zheng Han Lan. Congratulations, Chris. This is to certify that Mai Feng has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Liu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Tam Hung Uyên, Dharma name True Fragrance of Wholesomeness, Zheng Hương Lan. Congratulations, Yi. From Toronto. This is to certify that Jennifer Farkas has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Liu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Compassionate Presence of the Heart, Dharma name True River of Wholesomeness, Zheng Song Lan. Congratulations, Jennifer. It is wonderful that Sanghas can come together to support our orderlies online from all over the country and Canada. Okay, are we ready? This is to certify that Melissa Devine has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Liu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Joyful Realization of the Heart, Dharma name Zheng Shui Lan, true stream of wholesomeness. This is to certify that Catherine Rose has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Lu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Peaceful Insight of the Heart, Dharma name Zheng Do Lan, True Land of Wholesomeness. This is to certify that Chantal Birch has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Lu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Nourishing Training of the Heart, Dharma name Zheng Sung Lan, True Spring of Wholesomeness. This is to certify that Linda Vincent has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Lu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Ancient Wisdom of the Heart and the Dharma name Zheng Bing Lan, True Ocean of Wholesomeness. This is to certify that Ginger Wallace has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Lu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Joyful Transmission of the Source, Dharma name Zheng Hua Lan, True Flower of Wholesomeness. This is to certify that Joan Wolfe has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Lu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Mindful Intention of the Heart and the Dharma name True Ground of Wholesomeness, Zheng Dia Lan. Down here. Sometimes we play tricks on you, kind of pass the certificate along. This is to certify that Ying Studebaker has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of Deeping, the Order of Interbeing, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte Dhyana school and the 10th generation of the Lu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name Jeweled Spring of the Heart, Dharma name Zheng Nang Lan, True Sunlight of Wholesomeness. This is to certify that Tony Lamantia has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of Deeping, the Order of Interbeing, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school, 10th generation of Lu Kuan Dharma line, with the lineage name True Compassionate Heart, Dharma name Zheng Druing Lan, true transmission of wholesomeness. This is to certify that Susan Conley has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Liu Quan Dharma line, with the lineage name Healing Inward, Peacefulness of the Source, Dharma name Zheng Mak Lan, True Eyes of Wholesomeness. This is to certify that Franziska Ordley has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte Dhyana school and the 10th generation of the Liu Quan Dharma line, with the lineage name Gentle Presence of the Source, Dharma name Zheng Duk Lan, True Earth of Wholesomeness. I'm going to switch to Vietnamese. Nay chứng nhận Lý Nguyệt Thu đã thọ 14 giới tiếp hiện và gia nhập vào chúng chủ trì của dòng tu tiếp hiện và thuộc thế hệ thứ 44 của Tông Lâm Tế và thế hệ thứ 10 của phái Liễu Quán, với pháp danh Tâm Thu, pháp tự chân hiện lành, true expression of wholesomeness. Our Vietnamese brother and sister needs a certificate in Vietnamese, so it's both sided. I have an English version and a Vietnamese version. Nay chứng nhận Dư Hữu Tài đã thọ 14 giới tiếp hiện và gia nhập vào chúng chủ trì của dòng tu tiếp hiện và thuộc thế hệ thứ 44 của Tông Lâm Tế và thế hệ thứ 10 của phái Liễu Quán, với pháp danh Tâm Từ Địa, pháp tự chân núi lành, True Mountain of Wholesomeness. Nay chứng nhận Laura Hương Thái đã thọ 14 giới tiếp hiện và gia nhập vào chúng chủ trì của dòng tu tiếp hiện và thuộc thế hệ thứ 44 của Tông Lâm Tế và thế hệ thứ 10 của phái Liễu Quán, với pháp danh Nguyên Ngọc, pháp tự chân ý lành, True Mind of Wholesomeness. This is to certify that Anne Dugan has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte school and the 10th generation of the Liu Quan Dharma line, with the lineage name Boundless Love of the Heart, Dharma name Zheng Hieng Lan, True Offering of Wholesomeness. This is to certify that Madeleine Dupré has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing, Deeping, and belongs to the 44th generation of the Lamte Dhyana school and the 10th generation of the Liu Quan Dharma line, with the lineage name Kind Eyes of the Heart, Dharma name Zheng Xin Lan, True Life of Wholesomeness. This is to certify that Matthew Freiberg has received the 14 mindfulness trainings and has been ordained into the core community of the Order of Interbeing Deeping and belongs to the 44th generation of Lamte Dhyana School and the 10th generation of the Lu Quan Dharma line, with the lineage name Flowering Insight of the Heart, Dharma name Jung Mưa Lan, True Rain of Wholesomeness. That's the baby of this group. And as you must have noticed by now, this is the family of true wholesomeness. So wherever you go in the world, if you found each other and you found someone that has the name wholesomeness, that is your group. And I hope that you have a chance to meet those who are online at some point in the future. Congratulations. Our brother and sister, the newly ordained OIs, are you still there? Congratulations to you too. Wave your hands. Yay. So dear Sangha, let us recite the closing verse together.
Transmitting the trainings, practicing the way of awareness. His rise to benefit without limit. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who guidance and support along the
Once again, congratulations to our newly ordained OI members, both online and offline. And we would like to express our gratitude to the whole Sangha, both online and offline, to offer your presence and support so that we can complete the ceremony in beauty and in peace. And know that Thầy is with us, and the Sangha is with us always on our path of practice. It is now 7:45 East Coast time. It's breakfast time. So let us, when we hear the sound of the small bell, we stand up, bow to one another, and then we turn to the altar to express our gratitude. And I would like to invite the orderlies, no longer orderlies, the new OIs. Please bring your certificate and we will gather up to the front and we take a photo together. Just the orderlies, and perhaps online you can take a screenshot of the orderlies still present there. And then after that, the Sangha can join in and take photos. And so be sure to help the meditation hall to take away the chairs and the mats too. Everything, Brother Nuluk. Yeah, please remove everything to the side, and then we can go and take the photos and then make our way to the dining hall for breakfast. Okay. Con kính thưa đại chúng, sau đây mình nghe tiếng khánh, mình đứng dậy, mình xá nhau và mình hướng về bàn thờ Bụt và Tổ, sư ông, và mình xá Bụt, Tổ và sư ông. Sau đó thì xin đại chúng hoan hỷ lấy bộ đoàn tọa cụ và ghế mình dẹp qua một bên, và xin mời quý vị tân tiếp hiện lên chụp hình chung một tấm trước. Sau đó mời đại chúng vào mình chụp chung, và mình ý thức là giờ ăn sáng cũng đã bắt đầu, thì mình phải cũng phải cần qua dùng sáng để cho đội rửa dọn họ rửa dọn, chứ không ra trễ giờ. Xin cảm tạ đại chúng.
Alo, alo, 12, 12.
So dear new OI members, please convene to the front of the altar. The new OI members, please convene to the front of the altar for a group photo. Thank you.